Go ahead.
This is Frankie Edgar, UFC fighter. Welcome to the Trevor Airdrie Show.
Welcome everybody to episode 10 of the Trevor Airdrie Show. I am your host, Trevor Airdrie. The show is seen every single Wednesday on MMAJam.ca. As well as we're in a special location today, Fear the Fighter Training Academy, located at 512 Charles Street East in Kitchener, Ontario. You want to be the best? Train with the best. Come down and see Chad and Kyle today. They train everything from Muay Thai to wrestling, and you name it, they train it. So if you want an upcoming schedule of classes, go to www.fearthefightertrainingacademy.com. So this week, there is no recap, there is no rundown due to no UFC events happening this past weekend or this coming weekend. So we go straight to In the News. In the News is sponsored by Street Soldier Apparel. Sick swag at sick prices. Go to www.strtsoldier.com and pick up yours today. So this week in the news, some crossover promotions happening. Donald Cerrone has signed with Kevin Harvick's agency. Kevin Harvick, for those who don't know, is a NASCAR driver who runs a full-time Sprint Cup schedule. Winston Cup back in the early 2000s he was driving for. And it's a very interesting dynamic due to the fact that Kevin Harvick is a full-time athlete. He races from February to November every single year. So that being said, how is he going to have time for Donald Cerrone to represent him? As well as, he's also looking at welterweight contender Johnny Hendricks. So it'll be very interesting to see if he can go to meetings with Dana White. He obviously has to be on location for every single fight that's coming up. So it'll be very, weird to see how this all unfolds. As well, big news out of the Invicta camp. Invicta 6 will be live on pay-per-view in the United States and Canada. It'll be on Dish Network in the United States, and it'll be available on Bell TV in Canada. It'll be a great card for the fans of women MMA and MMA in general. Invicta is a big feeder series for promotions like UFC, and back before Strikeforce went under, Strikeforce. Invicta is the best of female MMA. It's got Cyborg Santos, Marlis Cohen, people like this. Household names for the MMA, true diehard MMA fans. So definitely check that out. The women fights are incredible. They never seem to gas out. They, generally end in a decision and so forth. News out of Bellator last weekend. Bellator 96 took place. And what happened in the co-main event of Babalu retiring due to the loss from Jacob No, Seth Petruzzelli, who fought in the main event against King Mo, has also decided to hang up the gloves. Seth Petruzzelli, for all you don't know, he is the Kimbo Slice killer, and as well as he took down the whole Elite XC promotion by defeating Kimbo Slice in 26 seconds. As well, UFC on Fox Sports 1 3, the third card over on UFC on Fox Sports 1, has announced three fights. The three fights are Da Silva versus Joseph Benavidez, which is an incredible flyweight title ramification fight, as well as a fight that was supposed to take place at UFC 160, Ryan Bader versus Glover Teixeira. Ryan Bader hurt his knee and was replaced by James Tahuna. And as well, it also has Yushin Akami versus Jacare Souza. So three incredible fights, three fights that will be free to the general public, and it's just, UFC has outdid themselves once again by giving three co-main event caliber fights on free TV. As well, UFC 165 has also bolstered their card. UFC 165 takes place in Toronto in September. They have added a fight of Ivan Mezigar versus Kid Yamamoto. For those guys that don't know, Kid Yamamoto is a Pride guy, hasn't had too much success in the UFC, But at the same time, Ivan Mejigar is coming off a loss to Uriah Faber. It'll be interesting to see which one comes through with a better game plan and who wins the fight. That card is also main evented by Alexander Gustafsson versus John Bones Jones, as well as has Canadian-born Mike Reese on the card. Also in the news this week, Nick Diaz is starting his own promotion. War MMA 1 takes place this Saturday at the Stockton Arena. It is available online, and I will get more into that in Trevor's Corner this week. So coming up next, Outside the Cage. Outside the Cage is sponsored by M&A Sports Media. You can go there and pick up your Support Local MMA wristbands, as well as visit supportlocalfighters.org. The wristbands were seen on Inside MMA, hosted by Bass Rutten and Kenny King on Friday, and they are on the rise, and definitely pick up yours before, it's too late. So this week on Outside the Cage, this weekend we have Substance Cage Combat. It's coming from the George Bell Arena in Mississauga, Ontario. One of M&A Sports Media's sponsored fighters, Malcolm Gordon, is competing on the card. He's going up against Ahmed Akar, and I wish nothing but the best for Malcolm Gordon, and I hope he can take home an arm. That being said, tickets are $45, so if you are in the Mississauga area, definitely go check out Malcolm's fight, and of course, the upcoming talent in Canada's MMA. Also, a charity that's near and dear to my heart, I've been mentioning it the last few weeks. We have the second annual Sean Tompkins Memorial Golf Tournament. It's at Fire Rock Golf Club in Kamoka, Ontario. The proceeds go to benefit the St. Leonard Society of London and the Sean Tompkins Memorial Fund. You can also pick up one of these shirts in memory of the coach, Sean Tompkins. As well, there's going to be UFC fighters there. Sean Tompkins touched a lot of lives. He trained everybody from Mark Hominick, Sam Stout, Bass Rutten, Vitor Belfort. The list goes on and on and on. So definitely go check that out. You can register online at the Fire Rock Golf Club's website or at Adrenaline Training Center live at 1794 Dundas Street in London, Ontario. So coming up next, Trevor's Corner. Trevor's Corner is sponsored by Combination Sports, your one-stop shop for MMA boxing gear and apparel, located at 306 King Street West in Kitchener, Ontario. If you can't go to Kitchener, you can shop online at www.combosports.com. So this week, the topic of Trevor's Corner is, will Nick Diaz's promotion, War MMA, work out? Now, Saturday's card is a bunch of no-name fighters, and that doesn't necessarily mean it's going to be a bad card. That generally means it's actually going to be a great card of knockouts and submissions and stuff like that. Fights that finish. But where I have a problem with it is he's taking a unique stance on how people buy the card from home. So you go online at Ustream, and you name your price. If you want to pay $5 for the card, you pay $5. If you want to pay $10 for the card, you pay $10. If you don't want to pay anything, it's free to watch. So the interesting thing is with that type of uncertainty, he's showing that he's a rookie of a promotional game. And with that type of uncertainty, you'll never grab those big name fighters to come and even do like an appearance, maybe a specialty fight of like a retired guy from the UFC, and so forth. So it's a very interesting concept, as in it shows how vulnerable and how much of a rookie he really is in the promotion game. Is he an exciting fighter? Absolutely. Do I want to see this? Absolutely. Because I know from watching Nick Diaz's antics, no showing pay-per-views, creating a fight on CBS Sports, and so forth, there will be something big that'll happen. But my message from this is to Dana White. Dana, keep Nick busy. He is not a promoter. He obviously does not know how to promote, because of this free card. And just make him busy. Give him a fight with a top 10 welterweight in the world. He is a technically top 10 welterweight. you know, he's not worthy of a title shot. But give him a fight that, you know, he is interested in taking to get him out of this. Because it's just going to cost him money in the future. And according to Nick, he doesn't have a whole lot of money to begin with. He says he hasn't paid his taxes in years and stuff like that. So keep him busy, keep his mind off far-fetched ideas like this one. But I do recommend to those at home, watch this weekend. There's probably going to be something big that happens, and it's probably not going to be in a positive setting. So that's all the time I have for the day. I'd like to thank Fear the Fighter Training Academy for letting me shoot live on location here today. I'd also like to thank my other sponsors, Combination Sports, where you can pick up the boxing gear that's on my table here. Fear the Fighter, pick up all their shirts. They have a great line. They have the Canadian Armed Forces shirt right here. The Sean Tompkins Memorial Golf Tournament, we have these shirts right here, as well as Street Soldier Athletics. Definitely check those guys out. And of course, MMAJam.ca. Big news is coming. Details will be in the future, so check out my Twitter daily until I can announce the big news. And as well, tune in next week, next Wednesday, for episode 11. And until next time, dream it, believe it, achieve it. I'm Trevor Airdrie, signing off.